If you're over 60, there's a good chance you ate bread this morning. Toast with breakfast, a sandwich at lunch, maybe a roll with dinner. Bread is so routine that you probably don't even think about it anymore. But here's what nobody told you. 3 of the most common breads sitting in kitchens across America right now are quietly pulling calcium from your bones every single time you eat them, and the damage adds up fast. The good news? There are 3 other breads that actually do the opposite. They protect your bones and help rebuild what's already been lost. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly which ones to throw out and which ones to start buying instead. Let's start with the worst offender, and it's probably the one you ate today. White enriched bread is in every grocery store aisle, every diner bread basket, every kitchen counter in America. That soft, spongy sandwich bread costs $2 a loaf. It is the one you have been eating your entire life. Here is the problem. When they make this bread, they strip the wheat kernel of everything useful. The fiber, gone. The natural B vitamins, gone. The minerals your bones actually need, gone. What remains is basically pure starch. Then they enrich it. It sounds helpful, right? They add synthetic vitamins back in and label it fortified. But your body, especially after age 60, does not absorb those synthetic nutrients the way it absorbs the real thing. Your aging digestive system barely recognizes those lab-made vitamins, and it gets worse. White enriched bread spikes your blood sugar faster than table sugar. That is not an exaggeration. The glycemic index is high. That blood sugar roller coaster triggers chronic low-grade inflammation throughout your entire body. You cannot feel it. There are no obvious symptoms, but inside your bones that inflammation is slowly dissolving tissue, month after month, year after year. You are eating this bread every single day, thinking it is harmless. It is not. But the next bread on this list might actually make you angry because you have been buying it on purpose, thinking you were doing the right thing. Store-bought whole wheat bread, the brown bread, the one with the little wheat stalk on the packaging and words like heart healthy and natural goodness printed on the front. Here is the betrayal. Pick up that loaf and flip it around to the ingredients list. Most of the brands you see at the grocery store, and I mean the big name brands that line the shelves, do not actually use whole wheat flour as their main ingredient. They use enriched wheat flour, the same refined stuff that is in the white bread we just talked about. So how do they make it look brown and wholesome? Caramel coloring, molasses, sometimes both. They literally dye white bread brown and sell it as the healthy option. If the first ingredient on that label does not say 100% whole grain or 100% whole wheat flour, you are eating the same inflammatory refined bread wrapped in a brown disguise. You may have been doing this for years, maybe decades, thinking you were protecting your health. The blood sugar spikes, the inflammation, the poor nutrient absorption. It is all happening with this bread too. The only difference is the color. Now, the third bread on this list is the one that's going to surprise people. It sounds like a health food. It sounds old-fashioned and wholesome, like something your grandmother would have served. Commercial rye bread and pumpernickel. The dark, dense bread from the deli counter, or the packaged section. It looks like it should be good for you. It feels traditional. But pick up that package and check the ingredients. Most commercial rye and pumpernickel bread is made primarily with refined wheat flour, not whole rye. The dark color comes from cocoa powder, coffee, or caramel coloring, not from actual whole grain rye. And here is the hidden danger that nobody talks about. Commercial rye and pumpernickel breads are loaded with sodium. One slice can have 200 milligrams or more. Sodium has a direct relationship with your bones that is genuinely alarming. When you eat excess sodium, your kidneys flush it out through urine, but calcium goes with it. Your body literally pulls calcium from your bones to process all that salt, then dumps it out of your body. For someone in their 20s, that is recoverable. For a senior who is already losing bone density every year, that calcium loss is accelerating osteoporosis in real time. You are eating this bread thinking it is a step up from white bread. Meanwhile, it is pulling the calcium right out of your skeleton. If you are finding this helpful so far, hit subscribe. I put out videos like this every week covering the foods and habits that matter most after 60. Now let's talk about what you should be eating instead. Because not all bread is the enemy. In fact, the right bread can actually help rebuild bone strength. Number 1 on the good list, and this is the big one. True sourdough bread. Not the stuff labeled sourdough at the supermarket that's made in 2 hours with added yeast and vinegar. I'm talking about real sourdough, the kind made with a natural starter and fermented for 12 to 24 hours or longer. That long, slow fermentation process does something incredible. It breaks down a compound called phytic acid. Phytic acid is naturally present in grains, and it acts like a lock on the minerals inside. It grabs onto calcium, magnesium, and zinc and prevents your body from absorbing them. When you eat regular bread, a huge portion of those bone-building minerals pass right through you. But sourdough fermentation breaks those locks open. The calcium and magnesium become available for your body to actually use. Your bones get fed instead of starved. On top of that, sourdough has a significantly lower glycemic index than white bread, whole wheat bread, or rye. It does not cause that same inflammatory blood sugar spike. And the natural fermentation process creates beneficial bacteria, the kind that support your gut microbiome. Better gut health means better absorption of every nutrient you eat, not just the ones in the bread itself. This is the bread your grandparents and great-grandparents actually ate before industrial bakeries took over and started cutting corners. They did not have bread factories. They had a sourdough starter on the counter, and they let time and tradition do the work. Look for sourdough at local bakeries or the artisan section of your grocery store. Check the ingredients. It should have flour, water, salt, and sourdough culture. That's it. If you see added yeast on the label, keep looking. Number 2. Ezekiel sprouted grain bread. You have probably seen this in the freezer section and walked right past it. The packaging looks a little different, the price is a bit higher, and it is frozen instead of sitting on the shelf. But this bread is worth every penny. Here is what makes it special. Instead of grinding dry grains into flour, they sprout the grains first. They soak them in water until tiny shoots begin to form. That sprouting process transforms the grain in ways that matter enormously for your body. Sprouting breaks down the anti-nutrients that normally block mineral absorption, similar to what fermentation does in sourdough. But sprouting also converts the grain into something close to a complete protein. For seniors who struggle to get enough protein for muscle and bone maintenance, that is a big deal. Ezekiel bread contains 0 added sugar. Read the ingredients and you will see lentils, barley, millet, and wheat, all sprouted. Your aging digestive system handles sprouted grains significantly better than conventional flour. Less bloating, less irritation, better absorption. And here is something that resonates with a lot of people. The recipe is inspired by a verse from the book of Ezekiel in the Bible, describing a bread made from multiple grains and legumes. Whether that is meaningful to you spiritually or not, the nutritional science backs up what that recipe produces. It is one of the most nutrient-dense breads you can buy. Number 3. The one almost nobody talks about, and honestly, it might be the most important bread on this entire list for bone health specifically: flaxseed bread. You've probably heard that omega-3 fatty acids are good for your heart. But omega-3 fats do something else that matters enormously if you are worried about your bones. They fight inflammation at the cellular level. Remember that chronic low-grade inflammation we talked about earlier, the kind that white bread and fake whole wheat create? Omega-3 fatty acids directly counteract that process. Flaxseed bread is packed with these omega-3 fatty acids, and it doesn't stop there. Flaxseed contains compounds called lignans. Lignans have been specifically studied for their effect on bone density, particularly in postmenopausal women. The research is clear. Lignans help protect existing bone mass and may slow the rate of bone loss that accelerates after menopause. So you are getting a bread that fights inflammation and directly protects bone density at the same time. That's a combination you will not find in any other bread on the shelf. Look for flaxseed bread where the flaxseed is listed as one of the first 3 ingredients, not just sprinkled on top as a garnish. Some brands add a tiny amount of flax to regular refined bread and call it flaxseed bread. Check the label. You want whole grain flour and ground flaxseed near the top of that list. So let's bring this all together. If you have white enriched bread, store-bought whole wheat bread, or commercial rye and pumpernickel in your kitchen right now, consider finishing what you have and not buying them again. Replace them with true long-fermented sourdough, Ezekiel sprouted grain bread, or flaxseed bread. Your bones do not send you warning signals until it is too late. You do not feel osteoporosis building. You do not feel calcium leaving your body. By the time you know there is a problem, you have already lost years of bone density that is incredibly hard to rebuild. But here is what you can feel. You can feel yourself making a better choice at the grocery store next week. And that one swap, bread you eat every single day, might be the most impactful change you make for your bones all year. If this video opened your eyes, share it with someone you love who eats bread every day. If you want to know which other everyday foods are silently affecting your bone health, I have a video on screen right now that covers exactly that. Click it. I'll see you there.